Madame, I assure you, this is the finest content in London.
Welcome back to the show. I hope it's not too windy. There is terrible wind, but I hope the microphone is facing away from it enough so that I can speak. There's a storm coming. I can already see the rain stripes on the horizon. I hope that I will be able to film this one before it hits us. Otherwise, I don't know, I'll have to skedaddle and, I don't know, finish it somewhere else or in the evening or whatever, I don't know. So, to get to the point, I always ramble about how difficult it is, how hard it is to do YouTube shit when I'm currently trying to do YouTube shit. And today I have a little bit of a different perspective. I wanted to discuss a thing that I ran into. I already talked on the show about data projections. Man, I mean, look at that, all these flowers, it's amazing. I already talked on this show about data projections and how we as creators have to simplify, cut things out of the picture. And today I want to approach the same idea from a different side. See, when you cut things out of the picture, there has to be a scar left. You have to cut some thought. You have to separate a concept and some parts of it, either just don't mention it deliberately, infer them, or you have to mention that this is also a big thing, but it's not a part of our current discussion. This would be the scar. And now, where to put these scars, and more even than where, is to make yourself to put these lines, to put these scars, is a very interesting thing that I keep running into again and again. There are two Russian authors, two brothers, Arkady and Boris Strugatsky, who wrote, they wrote science fiction mainly, but one of their books is called Snail on a Slope. And in that book, they have two general, it's two books in one book, but the ideas are kind of parallel. It's an epic thing. And in one of these, there's a village in the woods, and the villagers, they are oh man, everything is blowing away. The villagers are kind of, how do I put it? They are the remains of once great civilization. The technological progress went in some weird direction in such a way that the people were divided in half, and some of them went into some weird shit which was with the technological progress, and some of them were left over in these villages and cities to just degrade away, to die off basically. And the villagers, over a lot of generations, what seems like, have degraded to the point where their speech, it's never stated, but their speech is very weird. The way they talk, here on this show, it's kind of the same. They just blurt out words in this, the same words that they have in their mind. It's like they're talking exactly what is on their mind. There is nothing else on their mind. Right now I'm thinking about the storm and shit, about the rain that might hit me, and about the book, and imagining all of those things in parallel, but I'm cutting them off because they are not relevant to discussion. But now imagine the world, imagine such a speech where I wouldn't. Like, for example, I would say, you know, I'm right now walking through these shrubs. Oh, the shrubs, you know, they are really overgrown. I remember my garden was way overgrown and we had to call our granddad, and he brought us the grass cutter. Oh man, that grass cutter chopped the head of a lizard. Now those lizards, they have their spinal brain, so it ran off without a head for a while. You know, my granddad, when he was young, saw how his father chopped off a chicken's head and it ran without it. Man, this evolution thing sure is weird. You see what I'm doing right here? I am just like flowing. There is no point to this entire thing. Whereas when I do this show, there is no, like, I do the flow of consciousness, but I try to merge, I try to get all of the ideas that I express into like one overarching idea. Oh man, the road is very overgrown. If I were to show you, you just like, I'm standing chest deep in the grass. You can see right here, like, and these guys, they're actually like crawly things, so they have overgrown the path, and I can barely move my feet. It's like I'm swimming. Like, check it out. It's amazing. It's one of the greatest experiences with greenery and shrubbery that I've ever had. But somewhere on these paths, there's like places where it seems like somebody, dagnabbit, it cut me off. There are places where it seems like somebody fell. It might have been like, I don't know, a drunk person wandering in at night, or not at night, and they fell, or a dog slept here or something like that. I don't know. So, to summarize, when I do this show, the flow of consciousness, I still try to tie the flow of consciousness that I do. Like, check it out, I'm literally swimming, like, swimming. I try to tie this flow of consciousness to one overarching idea. I try to do a thing while I'm doing it. Not always, like the previous episode was just like random rants, but even then I had little points that I was making, and then the connections between them they were flowy. So the people in the village, they don't have that. It's like, for them, thinking is only flow of consciousness. No overarching ideas are possible, and that's like partially why they are stagnating, you can say, because they cannot really change anything, because whenever they start thinking about something, they instead fall into this trap of just remembering shit and talking about that instead of what they were originally talking about. I went out on some little road that is actually, oh look, the storm might actually be going away. That's a good thumbnail, you know. So, to finish up, yeah, when writing on an idea, for me at least, it is incredibly hard to stay on topic, because my mind constantly strays to different concepts, and because those concepts are still unexplored in the context of the work that I'm writing, I have to like explain them, and that ends up being like a terrible waste of time and resources, because I'm talking about a completely different thing. Everything is connected, but in such a way in which I didn't intend it to be connected. I didn't want to talk about that, but look and see, now I'm talking about that, which is like not something that I initially wanted to do. Like, I always, whenever multiple times this has already happened, whenever I start discussing what is it? Whenever I start discussing how I approach understanding, I get drowned in the concept of like mirroring that I always talk about. And that's just not a part of whatever it is the theme that I'm trying to reflect upon. And I usually touch upon it because I want to say that, hey, this is my opinion and this is like the method that I used to get to it. Okay, the storm seems to have gone, but it always the quietest before the heavy rain hits. And I'm kind of starting to hear little droplets everywhere. So perhaps this is about it. Like I said, to summarize and not to be like those villagers, for me it's damn hard to write a narrative, to write in such a way where I have a point and like everything else kind of builds up to the point in the, like a pyramid little type of thing, or I don't know, an Eiffel Tower with like little legs that the original idea stands on, because I always spiral off into moon logic and crazy shit about the concepts that were not part of my original idea. I was like little flies, cutesy wootsy, like that. When I was a little boy, I was always afraid that I would eat one. Okay, the rain is actually starting, so I think that's about it for today. The video is a little bit shorter, but that's exactly what I wanted it to be. Oh my lord, check that out. It's like a sky... Yeah, see? See that? It's like a sky thing. Sky vortex, and that is a tiny sky vortex. Epic. Is it actually moving in around? No, it's not moving in a circle. It's just the clouds that are closer. Yeah, it's not moving in a vortex. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time, and bye-bye. My finger. Bye-bye.